Bitcoin is on the verge of a bullish breakout of a 3-week-long downtrending resistance. Will Bitcoin break through this level? If so, what impact could this have on the macro charts? Or will the bears step back in and regain control? Let's go ahead and jump in. Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. In today's video, we are doing a complete short-term technical and structural analysis, discussing why Bitcoin is primed for a breakout, going over the key levels of resistance and support, what impact the short-term could have on the macro price action, and the current 3-week-long downtrending diagonal resistance Bitcoin is currently testing. Are we going to see an explosive move to 70,000, or will the bears step back in and push Bitcoin down? These are questions we're answering in today's video, so before we get into it, smash that like button, hit that comment button, and subscribe to the channel. We post daily videos for Bitcoin focusing on the facts, the data, the technical and the structural information, no hype, no BS, no emotion, pure raw TA. If that is the kind of content you're interested in, join us on Telegram. It is the third link down below. You'll get access to charts, updates, videos, educational posts, news events, and everything you need to stay in the loop of cryptocurrency with Bitcoin and the relevant economic news. If you're interested in taking your trading to the next level, join us on VIP. We post trading setups with exact entries, exact targets, exact stop losses, trade justification, exclusive analysis, and so much more. Not only will you get access to all of the traders we have to offer, you'll also get access to our group chats, our general chat, trading chart and education chat, trade setup, news, daily video, and help chat. If you are interested in joining a community of nearly 700 members, contact us in the pinned comment of the free channel by clicking my name, or click these links to find out more information. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get stuck in. So a quick summary of what we're discussing today. We're discussing the short term in extensive detail, going over the daily RSI downtrend, the fact that we have seen a breakout. We're looking at the 3-week-long downtrend diagonal resistance. We're going to be discussing macro impacts in regards to the context of this high time frame consolidation and directional breakouts. We're going to be discussing Bitcoin dominance in reference to a potential alt season coming up, and so much more, including the total crypto market cap and the weekly chart for Bitcoin. So before we get into it, let's start on the market data. Moving on to the market data, 24-hour volume is up 27%. Again, coming out of the weekend, it is normal to see volume rise, sitting at 132 million. 24-hour liquidations at 102 million, down 1.3%. Looking at 24-hour liquidations of the 102 million, a whopping 63 million have come from short positions and 39 million have come from long positions. Taking a incredibly brief look at the price action over the last 24 hours, we have seen Bitcoin has been climbing upwards slow and steady towards that $67,000 region and that retest of the major 3-week-long downtrending diagonal resistance. We'll come back and discuss that in the video later today. Moving over to the broader markets, the DXY is pretty much sitting exactly where it was sitting yesterday. Again, if we do see a loss of this area of support, we are expecting a retracement towards the area of confluence, which is at 105, the point of which we have the intersection between the 2-month-long uptrend and the major yearly neckline of support. A loss of this level is when the DXY shows significant weakness and will likely see a continuation much lower. Provided the DXY is able to remain above 106, we could see a continuation higher. However, at the moment, we are starting to see short-term lower highs developing, and we have momentum dropping. It is a sign of general weakness, which could develop into a correction and marked deviation above this range high. So we are looking at that over the next week of price action. The S&P 500 again has seen a pretty sharp correction, but like we've been saying all year, guys, while we remain above 5,000, this is a high time frame area of support. It is a trigger point, meaning the probabilities for a directional continuation upwards shift in favor of the bears if we drop below the 5,000 point, meaning if we break below 5,000, the likely direction is no longer upwards, it is downwards towards our yearly 2021 all-time high point. That does also mean that while we remain above 5,000, we are expecting macro continuations upwards, and this should be considered a healthy high time frame correction. The same goes to the Dow Jones, the difference being the $38,000 level is that key level of support. While that area holds as support, expecting macro continuations upwards. If we do drop below it, that is when we expect a correction to the 2021 high. Without further ado, guys, a quick word from Bitget and BingX, and let's jump into Bitcoin. I wanted to briefly interrupt today's video to discuss the two exchanges we use on this channel, Bitget and BingX. So which exchange should you sign up to? If you look to the right hand side of the screen, you're going to see the list of differences in relation to KYC requirements and the countries these exchanges offer services to. The first link down below being the Bitget link, and the second link down below being the BingX link. No matter which link you sign up to, you're going to get up to 15% discounts on your trading fees, up to $5,000 in trading rewards, and of course, you'll get access to every single MegaWhale exclusive bonus campaign we run on these exchanges. Alongside that, Bitget and BingX are incredibly similar. They are both ranked top 10 in terms of trading volume. They both have extensive liquidity pools and market pairs offering up to 125x leverage. And most importantly, they both offer protection funds for their users to protect you against any third-party hacks. So get started now and support the channel by clicking the links below. Thanks for listening. Okay guys, let's go ahead and jump over to Bitcoin. So a lot to discuss today, but we're going to keep today's video nice and short and sharp. In 35 seconds, we have the close, with the daily candle close. And this is a profound day, as what we can see is on the RSI. This will mark the first time we have seen a positive momentum shift on the daily chart since breaking into this 2-month-long consolidation range. So taking a look at the RSI, again, the RSI is a representation of momentum. It is a derivative of price action. And what we can see is that since the point of break-in of that 60K region, which is this green box, we can see the RSI from that point onwards has been in a general downtrend. We can see the RSI has been tracking downwards. This is a representation of decreasing momentum. We have falling momentum in this entire 2-month consolidation region. Now, what we have seen for the first time is a RSI breakout of that respective trend line, showing us we have now had a positive shift, a positive breakout on the RSI, indicating for the first time momentum has flipped positive. This is significant because if we are able to reclaim and retest these upper levels of resistance, this will be the first time that we'll be retesting this region of resistance with positive momentum. If we look at the last prior two times, time number one over here, we had negative momentum, we had deviation and a rejection as a result of no strength. Time number two, again, we had decreasing momentum, we had negative momentum, indicating again an inability to climb higher, we had exhaustion, we did not have the strength required. So in this instance, we do now have positive momentum, which is one of the first pieces of the puzzle that we do need to see a macro continuation higher. But furthermore, what it does tell us is if we are able to retest this area, we are now retesting it from a position of strength rather than retesting from a position of weakness like we saw in the past, and that increases the probability that if we retest that area of resistance, that we'll see an eventual break toward the upside. Now, regardless of whether we retest that or not, again, the key determining factor of whether we actually see the price climb towards that level is going to be the shorter time frame price action, and we'll come back and discuss that in just a moment. But starting on the high time frame context, if we do zoom out, what we can see is once again, we have a period of 2 months consolidation. This is bullish consolidation. As we can see, the RSI has now flipped positive and we have resetted. What we can see now again is with this consolidation range, we are expecting quite a brutal move in either direction. We expect a volatile move in either direction. And the reason I say that is if we look at the depth of this range, we have around a 17% drop. And if we look at the width of it, again, it's around about, 20%, a 20% range, and the bigger the range of consolidation, the larger the expected reaction when the range eventually breaks. So whether that be a upside break, all right, a break to the top side, or a break to the bottom side, regardless of the directional break, we do expect the breakout to be quite violent in either direction. Now, with the RSI breaking out of its downtrend, signifying we do have positive strength, increasing the likelihood of a continuation upwards and eventual breakout. Again, like I've been saying this entire time, the directional continuation upwards is significantly more likely than a directional continuation downwards, while the 59 to 60k region holds as support. So we'll come back and discuss that in a second, but bullish case scenario again on the macro, we are looking for a target around $84,000 to $87,000 upon a breakout of this range high. Now, for a breakout to be validated, we would need to see a 4-hour candle close above the high of the deviation, which is $73,800. That will what we need to see for a breakout confirmation. For a downside confirmation, we would need to see a 4-hour close underneath the sell side liquidity, which is this point over here, okay, essentially that low point of deviation at $59,100. A 4-hour candle close underneath $59,100 would result in the price action dropping aggressively as per, again, the measured move we discussed before to that $52,000 region as per filling that VRPV gap and completing the expected measured move of the width of, should I say, the depth of the horizontal consolidation. So those are the macro implications. Now, if we zoom that out a little bit more and take a look at the weekly chart, of course, this has a profound impact on the health, the structural integrity of the weekly chart. If we take a look at where that 60k region is, that is sitting at a major area of support right over here. So a breakdown of that consolidation range under 60 would jeopardize this high time frame area of support and result in a high time frame correction downwards. Whereas a break over 73k region will send us back into price discovery. So I've been mentioning for a few weeks now that this range is essentially the last major consolidation range before we enter a massive parabolic rally for the entire cryptocurrency market, or you see a heavy correction that will be, wiping off many millions off the market, and altcoins would significantly crash and the market would see a lot of red. So it's a very, very crucial range that everyone should be paying close attention to. Overall, it is having a bullish narrative as of right now. Let's move down to a smaller time frame and discuss what is happening. So in the last couple weeks, guys, we have seen again this downtrending diagonal resistance develop, and this downtrending diagonal resistance is represented by this black trend line. And you can see this black trend line has now lasted around about 3 weeks. We have got one rejection, we have got two rejections, and we are currently retesting it as of right now. For a continuation higher, okay, we need to see the price break and close a 4-hour candle above this downtrend. Why do I say 4-hour candle? Because we have not yet seen a 4-hour candle close above that level. So thus, if we see a 4-hour candle sustain above that level, it would increase the likelihoods that the price action has sustained and will continue in that general direction. So again, with the daily RSI breakout, there is an expectation that we do see a continuation upwards on the daily chart. However, on the short term, we can still see some short-term volatility or fluctuations before that continuation develops. But we'll come back and we'll discuss that in a second. It is most important to note that if you do see that 4-hour close, that is going to be a strong indication the price is sustained and will continue higher. Again, if we need to see that continuation upwards, we definitely need to see that breakout of the downtrend. While we sit under the downtrend, the bulls still are not in complete control. There is a likelihood we still see a correction lower until we break out. However, like I said already, with the daily RSI breakout, the probability of a break over here is significantly greater than not. Let's go down to a smaller time frame price action. So as we can see, guys, we do have this small area of neckline resistance developing in and around this range. You can see we're currently retesting this area. We are sitting just above that region. Currently, the uptrend for Bitcoin is represented by this diagonal trend line. Again, we've chopped around this level a few times. This level is one that we would like to hold above, as well as that 50 EMA, as we can see. So again, we are expecting any sort of volatility to develop around this region, down potentially to the 50 EMA before a potential breakout. If we do lose that 50 EMA on the hourly, we could see retracements back down as low as around 63,000, more likely to see a retracement down to this region over here at around 64,500 as worst case scenario. Same applies as per yesterday's video, guys. If we do want to see the bears fully step back in control over here and push the price action aggressively down, we would need to see that hourly RSI break downwards, indicating a negative momentum shift, and that would likely push the price action back to this region. But it is only when we lose this region at 63,000 would we run the risk of a correction back down to 60 to 59,000, guys. So definitely bullish as of right now, but it doesn't mean I'd be taking longs. I mean, the longs have already been taken. We took longs down over here. We took longs in this region, we took longs in this region. We're taking profits in this region over here, but we now are at a resistance. So this isn't an entry for a new long position. This is now, well, take profits on some of your longs, readjust your risk, plan for downside, but prepare for more upside. If we do see the confirmation, well, then we are expecting that continuation higher. Again, resistance is resistance until it is not. Even though the probabilities that we break through are significantly higher, it is still a level of resistance, and we need to respect that it is, okay? When you start not respecting the charts and the price action, that is when we get overconfident and you take irrational decisions and you get burnt. So probabilities are in your favor for continuations, but you're so close to that invalidation, it is better to wait just a little bit more to get that validation or that confirmation that we're going to see directional continuations. Let's go ahead now and jump over to the total cryptocurrency market cap. So the total cryptocurrency market cap is looking even better than it did yesterday. We said it was looking great yesterday. It is looking even better than yesterday. We've seen that strong double weekly candle bounce, okay, from the $2.2 trillion level, which is the dead cat bounce high of the prior bear market. Again, guys, looking good while we sit above here. While we remain above here, we're expecting continuations upwards. You know, we're looking for 3 trillion as that next target, okay? And if we do drop below here, that is things are going to get really, really sketchy. So again, provided we hold above here, we are looking for continuations to 3 trillion. If we drop a weekly candle underneath this 2.07, 2.08 trillion level, that is when we're potentially expecting a correction back to that 50 EMA. That would be very, very bearish. However, again, support is support, guys. Support is support until it is not. And until this level is lost, the probabilities will remain in favor of a continuation upwards. So if you're hedging for that downwards move, you are hedging on the least probable scenario, and thus your chance of success is significantly lower. Moving over to the Bitcoin dominance chart, we can see over here, guys, Bitcoin dominance chart is actually looking pretty primed for a correction. And when we do see the correction, we could potentially see altcoin season start. So I've annotated this chart a little bit over here. What we can see is a yearly level of neckline resistance. We've got 1 retest, 2 retest, okay? When we broke down from that level in 2021, this was the alt season. This correction over here, we'll go ahead and box that out again. This correction under that level was the altcoin season for 2021. What we are seeing now again is a similar retest of the underside of that prior support as an area of resistance. This is now a support resistance flip. Okay, a support resistance flip. So we are expecting a similar reaction in Bitcoin dominance over the coming months, a huge correction down back towards that 40% region, which would trigger a altcoin season as altcoins would gain against their Bitcoin value pair, okay? And that could result in altcoins go parabolic. Now, on the flip side, if we do see Bitcoin break above this neckline of resistance, that could, number one, delay the alt season or suppress the alt season, and we would see Bitcoin gain against its altcoin counterparts. So that is also something to pay attention to, guys. If we go very briefly over the altcoin market cap up here, we can see historically we are expecting a altcoin season to start as per what we have seen in the past. We are expecting us to enter this phase 5 region upon the breakout of point number 1, and this is going to be that parabolic region. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll catch you guys in our next one on Thursday. See you then.